blood pressure boil. And when you see that kind of thing, like if you don't believe in capital punishment, that guy should be beheaded like as soon as possible, like you are not an American. We have to start doing capital punishment to these people and remove them and stop housing them
I
and
agree.
spending $100,000 a year to house these people. Like I'm ready to take that job. I'm ready. I am willing and able to be a federal executioner.
Should we bring back public hangings, Adrian?
No, for something like that, attempted murder like that, that guy only survived because he fell in between the tracks in a perfect spot.
Oh, he survived?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
He fell in a perfect spot and the train went over him perfectly. He did, and he still suffered severe injuries, but that type of an attack is like an attack on society itself. He has to be beheaded. He has to be.
Should it be public though? Is the real question.
Like I'm going to rallies with signs now that say bring back public beheadings as soon as possible.
Okay, public beheadings. Okay, that's what I'm saying. We make a day of it, right? You make a festival around it. Once a month, the public beheadings. You bring your little kids. They buy little guillotine toys.
Did you see one of the guys that Biden pardoned? This guy, he killed two beautiful young white women. Did you see him?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, we're talking about a real piece of shit. And Biden pardoned him. He murdered two lovely, beautiful women, very young, innocent people, and he gave him a pardon. I can't believe it.
Why? What would be what's the reasoning?
I mean, if you're talking, I do know that there's a few people who are on death row that it's not considered a pardon, but like he's lessened their sentence. So
Right.
they're not on death row anymore. Is this one of those guys, or like
Yeah.
is he actually pardoned?
Yeah, no, it's not like a full pardon. It's a whatever,
Okay,
a sentence,
yeah,
whatever.
He's not dead. Yeah, he's not going to be executed anymore for.
Yeah,
crimes.
commuted the sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But he should absolutely 100% be executed. 100%.
Yeah, no, there's it's crazy when like people are like, I can't believe people are on death row, and then you look up the cases on why these people are on death row, and it's like they murdered 3 6-year-olds or something. It's like and like burned them alive, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I understand why this person's being executed and deserves so. It's not like some guy's like, I robbed a bank and shot the bank teller. No. It's like they brutally murder people, and usually it's children involved. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm putting the link in the chat for a good example. And like the father of the victims says that Biden's, it's a reprehensible commutation of a death sentence for the victims. Like we're talking about like the worst of the worst.
I read a story probably about a year ago. It still makes me just think about how crazy our political, the activism is right in this country. Because people in Michigan were really, really upset. This is one of the last people on death row from Michigan. And they're like, we need to get this guy off death row.
Right.
The story of the guy on death row was that he went into a house to rob the house. There was a mother, father, and 2 daughters there. And instead of just robbing the place, he ends up tying the 2 daughters, killing the father, taking the mother to the bank in the morning, having her deposit all of her money out when he was going to kill the daughters, took her back to the house, killed the mother, raped the 2 daughters, burned the daughters alive, set the house on fire, because it said that the daughters both were under the age of 10, were burned alive, because they were like zip tied to their beds or whatever. And he set the house on fire. So, and then this guy got the death penalty. Understandably, the guy's a horrendous.
So I have
and they
sounds insensitive.
Yeah.
But how did they know if they were raped if the bodies were burned?
The mother was raped, not the daughter was raped. The mother was raped, but I'm assuming they, I guess they conducted.
There's really no reason to,
I don't know. They conducted some type of search. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but they.
I wonder, like, how do people like that make it into their like 20s? Like, how do they make it that far in life without having done something like crazy?
I feel like that they probably have done something like that, right? Like, that's all, story of how the FBI started keeping on serial killers, right? They started investigating previous serial killers and like doing interviews with them, and they realized that they all have the same patterns of like killing small animals.
Looking at it like through a framework, you rather have 100 innocent men go free than one guilty man be convicted. But like, it's very easy when you present it like in a literal framework of like, okay, it's 100, but yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, let's change topics because I don't want to record, people talking about murder, death, kill.
They're not doing it. It's not even their fault. They're not doing anything different than they otherwise would.
Yeah, this is what they live. This is how they live.
Yeah.
And we already had two confirmed terrorist attacks in 2025.
Yeah.
They call the Cybertruck a terrorist attack now.
I haven't kept up with it, but yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it's in there.
That's what I heard. That's what it.
Was it yesterday? When did that happen?
Yesterday. Yeah, it was. It's yesterday. Yeah, it's New Year's Day.
On your way.
They had the New Orleans, truck driver drive through the crowd and open fire before dying, and then you had the Cybertruck guy who, and whatever, I don't get might be information, I don't know misinformation, but they both rented their trucks that was used in the attacks on the same car sharing app, and then that they both were on the same military base at the same time, because both these guys served in the army.
Yep.
Really?
One guy's a white guy. One guy's a white guy.
He had like a Jew. He had like a Jewish name too.
Yeah. The Cybertruck bombing was a white guy in the truck drive through, whatever you call it.
I saw one guy somebody did mass shootings in schools.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, no, that's not the trannies. Trannies took that over. Because I think they were I think they've always been trannies, but they haven't been able to transition early on. So now we're saying that it's just the trannies just hate life. They want to kill everyone.
Okay, this is Wisdom and Philosophy Audiobooks live stream. This is Adrian.
Introduction. 1. The book. This book was dictated in Cairo between noon and 1 p.m. on 3 successive days, April 8th, 9th, and 10th in the year of 1904. The author called himself Iwas and claimed to be the minister of Hur-Par-Krat, that is, a messenger from the forces ruling this earth at present, as will be explained later on. How could he prove that he was in fact a being of a kind superior to any of the human race, and so entitled to speak with authority? Evidently, he must show knowledge and power, such as no man has ever been known to possess. He showed his knowledge chiefly by the use of cipher or cryptogram in certain passages to set forth recondite facts, including some events which had yet to take place, such that no human being could possibly be aware of them. Thus, the proof of his claim exists in the manuscript itself. It is independent of any human witness. The study of these passages necessarily demands supreme human scholarship to interpret. It needs years of intense application. A great deal has still to be worked out, but enough has been discovered to justify his claim. The most skeptical intelligence is compelled to admit its truth. This matter is best studied under the Master Therion, whose years of arduous research have led him to enlightenment. On the other hand, the language of most of the book is admirably simple, clear, and vigorous. No one can read it without being stricken in the very core of his being. The more than human power of Iwas is shewn by the influence of his master and of the book upon actual events, and history fully supports the claim made by him. These facts are appreciable by everyone, but are better understood with the help of the Master Therion. The full detailed account of the events leading up to the dictation of this book, with facsimile reproduction of the manuscript and an essay by the Master Therion, is published in The Equinox of the Gods. 2. The Universe. This book explains the universe. The elements are Nuit, space, that is, the total of possibilities of every kind, and Hadit, any point which has experience of these possibilities. This idea is, for literary convenience, symbolized by...
What do you want to talk about, Danny? Are you playing the guitar? Oh, you're just doing what I do to you? I just come in and play shit. Now you're doing it to me? Cool. Awesome. Great job. Thank you very little, Danny.
The Egyptian goddess Nuit, a woman bending over like the arch of the night sky. Hadit is...
Mom? Mom? Hello? You fucked up my flow, Danny. Typical Danny.
Introduction. 1. The book. This book was dictated in Cairo between noon and 1 p.m. on 3 successive days, April 8th, 9th, and 10th in the year of 1904. The author called himself Iwas and claimed to be the minister of Hur-Par-Krat, that is, a messenger from the forces ruling this earth at present, as will be explained later on. How could he prove that he was in fact a being of a kind superior to any of the human race, and so entitled to speak with authority? Evidently, he must show knowledge and power, such as no man has ever been known to possess. He showed his knowledge chiefly by the use of cipher or cryptogram in certain passages to set forth recondite facts, including some events which had yet to take place, such that no human being could possibly be aware of them. Thus, the proof of his claim exists in the manuscript itself. It is independent of any human witness. The study of these passages necessarily demands supreme human scholarship to interpret. It needs years of intense application. A great deal has still to be worked out, but enough has been discovered to justify his claim. The most skeptical intelligence is compelled to admit its truth. This matter is best studied under the Master Therion, whose years of arduous research have led him to enlightenment. On the other hand, the language of most of the book is admirably simple, clear, and vigorous. No one can read it without being stricken in the very core of his being. The more than human power of Iwas is shewn by the influence of his master and of the book upon actual events, and history fully supports the claim made by him. These facts are appreciable by everyone, but are better understood with the help of the Master Therion. The full detailed account of the events leading up to the dictation of this book, with facsimile reproduction of the manuscript and an essay by the Master Therion, is published in The Equinox of the Gods. 2. The Universe. This book explains the universe. The elements are Nuit, space, that is, the total of possibilities of every kind, and hadit, any point which has experience of these possibilities. This idea is, for literary convenience, symbolized by the Egyptian goddess Nuit, a woman bending over like the arch of the night sky. Hadit is symbolized as a winged globe at the heart of Nuit. Every event is a uniting of some one monad with one of the experiences possible to it. Every man and every woman is a star, that is, an aggregate of such experiences, constantly changing with each fresh event, which affects him or her either consciously or subconsciously. Each one of us has thus a universe of his own, but it is the same universe for each one as soon as it includes all possible experience. This implies the extension of consciousness to include all other consciousness. In our present stage, the object that you see is never the same as the one I see. We infer that it is the same because your experience tallies with mine on so many points that the actual differences of our observation are negligible. For instance, if a friend is walking between us, you see only his left side, I see his right. But we agree that it is the same man, although we may differ not only as to what we may see of his body, but as to what we know of his qualities. This conviction of identity grows stronger as we see him more often and get to know him better. Yet all the time, neither of us can know anything of him at all beyond the total impression made on our respective minds. The above is an extremely crude attempt to explain a system which reconciles all existing schools of philosophy. 3. The Law of Thelema. This book lays down a simple code of conduct. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. This means that each of us stars is to move on our own true orbit, as marked out by the nature of our position, the law of our growth, the impulse of our past experiences. All events are equally lawful, and every one necessary in the long run, for all of us, in theory. But in practice, only one act is lawful for each one of us at any given moment. Therefore, duty consists in determining to experience the right event from one moment of consciousness to another. Each action or emotion is an act of love, the uniting with one or another part of Nuit. Each such act must be under will, chosen so as to fulfill and not to thwart the true nature of the being concerned. The technical methods of achieving this are to be studied in magic, or acquired by personal instruction from the Master Therion and his appointed assistants. 4. The New Eon. The third chapter of the book is difficult to understand and may be very repugnant to many people born before the date of the book, April 1904. It tells us the characteristics of the period on which we are now entered. Superficially, they appear appalling. We see some of them already with terrifying clarity. But fear not. It explains that certain vast stars or aggregates of experience may be described as gods. One of these is in charge of the destinies of this planet for periods of 2,000 years. In the history of the world, as far as we know accurately, are 3 such gods. Isis, the mother, when the universe was conceived as simple nourishment drawn directly from her. This period is marked by matriarchal government. Next, beginning 500 BC, Osiris, the father, when the universe was imagined as catastrophic, love, death, resurrection, as the method by which experience was built up. This corresponds to patriarchal systems. Now, Horus, the child, in which we come to perceive events as a continual growth partaking in its elements of both these methods, and not to be overcome by circumstance. This present period involves the recognition of the individual as the unit of society. We realize ourselves as explained in the first paragraphs of this essay. Every event, including death, is only one more accretion to our experience, freely willed by ourselves from the beginning and therefore also predestined. This god, Horus, has a technical title, Heru Ra-Ha, a combination of twin gods, Ra-Hur-Quit and Hur-Par-Krat. The meaning of this doctrine must be studied in magic. He is symbolized as a hawk-headed god enthroned. He rules the present period of 2,000 years, beginning in 1904. Everywhere his government is taking root. Observe for yourselves the decay of the sense of sin, the growth of innocence and irresponsibility, the strange modifications of the reproductive instinct with a tendency to become bisexual or epicene, the childlike confidence in progress combined with nightmare fear of catastrophe, against which we are yet half unwilling to take precautions. Consider the outcrop of dictatorships, only possible when moral growth is in its earliest stages, and the prevalence of infantile cults like communism, fascism, pacifism, health crazes, occultism in nearly all its forms, religions sentimentalized to the point of practical extinction. Consider the popularity of the cinema, the wireless, the football pools and guessing competitions, all devices for soothing fractious infants, no seed of purpose in them. Consider sport, the babyish enthusiasms and rages which it excites, whole nations disturbed by disputes between boys. Consider war, the atrocities which occur daily leave us unmoved and hardly worried. We are children. How this new eon of Horus will develop, how the child will grow up, these are for us to determine, growing up ourselves in the way of the law of Thelema under the enlightened guidance of the Master Therion. 5. The next step. Democracy daughters. Ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds, cavort crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the child, the new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trend of the times and adapts circumstance intelligently is laughed at, persecuted, often destroyed by the herd, but he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers, it kills all indiscriminately. Every new measure of the most democratic and autocratic governments is communistic in essence. It is always restriction. We are all treated as imbecile children. DORA, the shops acts, the motoring laws, Sunday suffocation, the censorship. They won't trust us to cross the roads at will. Fascism is like communism and dishonest into the bargain. The dictators suppress all art, literature, theater, music, news that does not meet their requirements. Yet the world only moves by the light of genius. The herd will be destroyed in mass. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. In the words of the famous paradox of the Comte de Phoenix, the absolute rule of the state shall be a function of the absolute liberty of each individual will. All men and women are invited to cooperate with the Master Therion in this, the great work. O.M. Liber al vel legis, subfigura 220, as delivered by 93 equals 418 to 666. Chapter 1. Hod, the manifestation of Nuit, the unveiling of the company of heaven. Every man and every woman is a star. Every number is infinite. There is no difference. Help me, O warrior lord of Thebes, in my unveiling before the children of men. Be thou Hadit, my secret center, my heart and my tongue. Behold, it is revealed by Iwas, the minister of Hurapar Krat. The cobs is in the coup, not the coup in the cobs. Worship then the cobs, and behold my light shed over you. Let my servants be few and secret. They shall rule the many and the known. These are fools that men adore. Both their gods and their men are fools. Come forth, O children, under the stars, and take your fill of love. I am above you and in you. My ecstasy is in yours. My joy is to see your joy. Above, the gemmed azure is the naked splendor of Nuit. She bends in ecstasy to kiss the secret ardors of Hadit. The winged globe, the starry blue, are mine, O Ankof Nakansu. Now ye shall know that the chosen priest and apostle of infinite space is the prince priest the beast, and in his woman, called the Scarlet Woman, is all power given. They shall gather my children into their fold. They shall bring the glory of the stars into the hearts of men. For he is ever a sun, and she a moon. But to him is the winged secret flame, and to her the stooping starlight. But ye are not so chosen. Burn upon their brows, O splendorous serpent, O azure-lidded woman, bend upon them. The key of the rituals is in the secret word which I have given unto him. With the god and the adorer I am nothing. They do not see me. They are as upon the earth. I am heaven, and there is no other god than me and my lord Hadit. Now, therefore, I am known to ye by my name Nuit, and to him by a secret name which I will give him when at last he knoweth me. Since I am infinite space, and the infinite stars thereof, do ye also thus. Bind nothing. Let there be no difference made among you between any one thing and any other thing, for thereby cometh hurt. But whoso availeth in this, let him be the chief of all. I am Nuit, and my word is 6 and 50. Divide, add, multiply, and understand. Then saith the prophet and slave of the beauteous one, Who am I, and what shall be the sign? So she answered him, bending down, a lambent flame of blue, all touching, all penetrant, her lovely hands upon the black earth, and her lithe body arched for love, and her soft feet not hurting the little flowers. Thou knowest, and the sign shall be my ecstasy, the consciousness of the continuity of existence, the omnipresence of my body. Then the priest answered and said unto the queen of space, kissing her lovely brows, and the dew of her light bathing his whole body in a sweet-smelling perfume of sweat, O Nuit, continuous one of heaven, Let it be ever thus, that men speak not of thee as one, but as none, and let them speak not of thee at all, since thou art continuous. None breathe the light, faint and fairy, of the stars, and two. For I am divided for love's sake, for the chance of union. This is the creation of the world, that the pain of division is as nothing, and the joy of dissolution all. For these fools of men and their woes care not thou at all. They feel little. What is balanced by weak joys. But ye are my chosen ones. Obey my prophet. Follow out the ordeals of my knowledge. Seek me only. Then the joys of my love will redeem ye from all pain. This is so. I swear it by the vault of my body, by my sacred heart and tongue, by all I can give, by all I desire of ye all. Then the priest fell into a deep trance or swoon, and said unto the Queen of Heaven, Write unto us the ordeals, write unto us the rituals, write unto us the law. But she said, The ordeals I write not. The rituals shall be half known and half concealed. The law is for all. This that thou writest is the threefold book of law. My scribe Onkof Nakansu, the priest of the princes, shall not in one letter change this book, but lest there be folly, he shall comment thereupon by the wisdom of Ra Hurakawit. Also the mantras and the spells, the obeya and the wanga, the work of the wand and the work of the sword, these he shall learn and teach. He must teach, but he may make severe the ordeals. The word of the law is Thelema. Who calls us Thelemites will do no wrong if he look but close into the word. For there are therein three grades, the hermit and the lover and the man of earth. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The word of sin is restriction. O man, refuse not thy wife if she will. O lover, if thou wilt, depart. There is no bond that can unite the divided but love. All else is a curse. Accursed be it to the eons. Hell. Let it be that state of manyhood bound and loathing, so that with thy all thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that, and no other shall say nay. For pure will, unassuaged of purpose, delivered from the lust of result, is every way perfect. The perfect and the perfect are one perfect, and not two. Nay, are none. Nothing is a secret key of this law. 61 the Jews call it. I call it 8, 80, 418. But they have the half. Unite by thine art so that all disappear. My prophet is a fool with his one. Are not they the ox, and none by the book? Abrogate are all rituals, all ordeals, all words and signs. Ra Hurakawit hath taken his seat in the east at the equinox of the gods, and let Asar be with Issa, who are also one. But they are not of me. Let Asar be the adorant, Issa the sufferer, Hur in his secret name and splendor is the Lord initiating. There is a word to say about the hierophantic task. Behold, there are three ordeals in one, and it may be given in three ways. The gross must pass through fire. Let the fine be tried in intellect, and the lofty chosen ones in the highest. Thus ye have star in star, system in system. Let not one know well the other. There are 4 gates to one palace. The floor of that palace is of silver and gold. Lapis lazuli and jasper are there, and all rare scents, jasmine and rose, and the emblems of death. Let him enter in turn or at once the 4 gates. Let him stand on the floor of the palace. Will he not sink? Ho, warrior, if thy servant sink. But there are means and means. Be goodly therefore. Dress ye all in fine apparel. Eat rich foods and drink sweet wines and wines that foam. Also take your fill and will of love as ye will, when, where, and with whom ye will, but always unto me. If this be not aright, if ye confound the space marks saying, they are one, or saying, they are many, if the ritual be not ever unto me, then expect the direful judgments of Ra Hurakawit. This shall regenerate the little world, my sister, my heart and my tongue, unto whom I send this kiss. Also, O scribe and prophet, though thou be of the princes, it shall not assuage thee nor absolve thee, but ecstasy be thine and joy of earth, ever to me, to me. Change not as much as the style of a letter, for behold, thou, O prophet, shalt not behold all these mysteries hidden therein. The child of thy bowels, he shall behold them. Expect him not from the east, nor from the west, for from no expected house cometh that child. All words are sacred, and all prophets true, save only that they understand a little. Solve the first half of the equation, leave the second unattacked. But thou hast all in the clear light, and some, though not all, in the dark. Invoke me under my stars. Love is the law, love under will. Nor let the fools mistake love, for there are love and love. There is the dove and there is the serpent. Choose ye well. He, my prophet, hath chosen, knowing the law of the fortress, and the great mystery of the house of God. All these old letters of my book are aright, but Sadi is not the star. This also is secret. My prophet shall reveal it to the wise. I give unimaginable joys on earth, certainty, not faith, while in life. Upon death, peace unutterable, rest, ecstasy, nor do I demand aught in sacrifice. My incense is of resinous woods and gums, and there is no blood therein, because of my hair, the trees of eternity. My number is 11, as all their numbers who are of us. The 5-pointed star with a circle in the middle, and the circle is red. My color is black to the blind, but the blue and gold are seen of the seeing. Also I have a secret glory for them that love me. But to love me is better than all things. If under the night stars in the desert thou presently burnest mine incense before me, invoking me with a pure heart and the serpent flame therein, thou shalt come a little to lie in my bosom. For one kiss wilt thou then be willing to give all. But whoso gives one particle of dust shall lose all in that hour. Ye shall gather goods and store of women and spices. Ye shall wear rich jewels. Ye shall exceed the nations of the earth in splendor and pride, but always in the love of me. And so shall ye come to my joy. I charge you earnestly to come before me in a single robe and come.
Yeah.
Sen şey etmek istemiyorsun bu o. Hareket. I can't
Sorry,
speak.
what did you say?
Sen bu şey I don't know how to say it. Senin istemeyen biri.
Çok
No. Kim? Şey I don't know the word honestly.
well,
I'm trying to speak.
speak Turkish.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Why?
Şey çekiyor. Do you know what it means?
Eat the bread.
Yes.
Çekiyor kameraya. Tamam. Yeah.
What language
Got
are you
it?
speaking right now?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it in English. He's the one that records, so I know you don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finances. So, if any of them want to jump stupid, we are more than willing to oblige. And we've been doing that for a very long time. And in the event that they want to continue on acting like uncivilized folk, we're going to have to keep doing that.
So why did you occupy Sinai in the first place in Egypt? And we have to fight back to get it back. And then why did you occupy the Golan?
He didn't do
And
anything.
it stayed occupied.
I'll tell you.
And why you trying to occupy Lebanon? And
Plaintiff heard multiple voices call out things like, "I'll kill you." Holmes approached plaintiff while plaintiff was still on his hands and knees and said, "Suck my dick, Echo," referring to the clothing line that plaintiff worked for. Holmes thereafter forced his penis in plaintiff's mouth and proceeded to forcefully and brutally orally rape plaintiff. Holmes continued for at least 2 minutes until ejaculating. While orally raping plaintiff, Holmes grabbed plaintiff's hair and made a derogatory comment, something like, "You like that white boy." After he was finished, Combs threw plaintiff's head aside and said words to the effect of, "Shut up or I'll kill you." Holmes and his bodyguards began to leave, taunting plaintiff as they did. Holmes proceeded to gather Sean John merchandise from the stockroom. He left the stockroom and headed out to the Macy's retail floor, where he began passing out merchandise to an adoring crowd as if nothing had happened. In shock, traumatized plaintiff gathered himself and went to Macy's security to report the assault. By this point, Combs and his bodyguards had left the store. Plaintiff was told that someone would speak to him, but no one did. Shortly after, Macy's stopped letting plaintiff into its flagship Herald Square store. Approximately 3 weeks later, Terry Lundgren, CEO of Macy's, pressured Echo executives to fire plaintiff because Macy's had just signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Sean John Clothing. Echo thereafter terminated plaintiff from employment, and plaintiff was told he could no longer live in his company-paid apartment. Plaintiff is informed and believes that the report of the assault was destroyed and otherwise purged from Macy's records, and no action was ever taken as a result of the report. Plaintiff ultimately had to move out of New York. Plaintiff still fears for his life as a result of the incident and threats made against him on that day.
Yeah, no bueno. Macy.
And Macy's is named right there next to P. Diddy.
Echo complicit. Yeah, this is gonna.
This is why it's a RICO. People act like they don't understand why it's a RICO. There's so many companies involved in that shit.
Well, yeah, that's no way. I mean, but that would have been I don't know. That would have been a bad, but I guess I understand. Like,
he's a man. You know, this is a straight white man. Like, masculinity doesn't recover from sexual assault.
No, and he was victimizing men.
That's humiliating.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's sadistic. He's sick. He's twisted. He's that psychopathic behavior.
And his son too. To both Christian and whatever the ugly one's name is. The ugly one is named in the RICO, and Christian has his own rape allegation.
Mm-hmm.
Totally separate.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He drugged the girl, yeah, the bartender.
They learned from their father.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, kids, probably poor kids probably got put through some shit too, but they
But the cute one that got his own rape assault, that ain't even his baby. That's what's crazy. He's the only one that looked half decent.
Christian. Oh, Justin.
No, the light-skinned one with the curly hair. Justin the one that looked just like his dad. And I get them mixed up.
Justin is the first one. That she's Misa's son. That's the light-skinned one with the curly hair. And then Christian, like the dark-skinned one. What's his name, which is Albie Shore's son.
The one that was supposed to be the one that, girl, I don't know, he light-skinned. They say that P. Diddy is not his real father. His real father was murdered, allegedly, by P. Diddy.
Maybe. You never know.
I seen a side-by-side, child.
Oh, really? He famous?
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see if I can find you a picture of the side-by-side.
It's not far-fetched, because you know that Misa, Mary J. Blige, and they
nonsense lawsuits that we're seeing get filed in various different fields. There's data that increase the thresholds, right? So listen, you want to
place above. So it becomes like inconsistent. It's
Hey Alexa, how many bitches can we fit in the Tesla?
Just for example, the oil is priced in the U.S. in dollars.
Station, this is Houston. You are go for capture sequence. Perform step 4 in. Because I face him.
But now I'm allowed to. It's super crazy. I mean, the numbers in Brazil were like shooting to the moon, just like because the hospitals was to money. Literally everybody who died was declared.
With a rich headdress. I love you. I yearn to you. Pale or purple, veiled or voluptuous. I who am all pleasure and purple and drunkenness of the innermost sense, desire you. Put on the wings and arouse the coiled splendor within you. Come unto
It's
me.
estimated that 100,000
At all my meetings with you shall the priestess say, and her eyes shall burn with desire as she stands bare and rejoicing in my secret temple. To me, calling forth the flame of the hearts of all in her love chant. Sing the rapturous love song unto me. Burn to me perfumes, wear to me jewels, drink to me, for I love you, I love you. I am the blue-lidded daughter of sunset. I am the naked brilliance of the voluptuous night sky. To me, the manifestation of Nuit is at an end.
Yeah, you already got me.
Chapter 2. Nu, the hiding of Hadith. Come, all ye, and learn the secret that hath not yet been revealed. I, Hadith, am the complement of Nu, my bride. I am not extended, and Cobbs is the name of my house. In the sphere I am everywhere the center, as she, the circumference, is nowhere found. Yet she shall be known, and I never. Behold, the rituals of the old time are black. Let the evil ones be cast away. Let the good ones be purged by the prophet. Then shall this knowledge go aright. I am the flame that burns in every heart of man and in the core of every star. I am life and the giver of life. Yet therefore is the knowledge of me the knowledge of death. I am the magician and the exorcist. I am the axle of the wheel and the cube in the circle. Come unto me is a foolish word, for it is I that go. Who worshipped Heru-Pa-Kroth have worshipped me. Ill, for I am the worshipper. Remember all ye that existence is pure joy, that all the sorrows are but as shadows. They pass and are done, but there is that which remains. O prophet, thou hast ill will to learn this writing. I see thee hate the hand and the pen, but I am stronger. Because of me and thee, which thou knewest not. For why? Because thou wast the knower, and me. Now let there be a veiling of this shrine. Now let the light devour men and eat them up with blindness. For I am perfect, being naught, and my number is 9 by the fools. But with the just I am 8, and 1 in 8, which is vital, for I am none indeed. The empress and the king are not of me, for there is a further secret. I am the empress and the hierophant, thus 11, as my bride is 11. Hear me, ye people of sighing. The sorrows of pain and regret are left to the dead and the dying, the folk that not know me as yet. These are dead, these fellows. They feel not. We are not for the poor and sad. The lords of the earth are our kinsfolk. Is God to live in a dog? No, but the highest are of us. They shall rejoice, our chosen, who sorroweth is not of us. Beauty and strength, leaping laughter and delicious languor, force and fire are of us. We have nothing with the outcast and the unfit. Let them die in their misery, for they feel not. Compassion is the vice of kings. Stamp down the wretched and the weak. This is the law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Think not, O king, upon that lie, that thou must die. Verily thou shalt not die, but live. Now let it be understood, if the body of the king dissolve, he shall remain in pure ecstasy forever. Nuit, Hadit, Ra Huakuit, the sun, strength and sight, light. These are for the servants of the star and the snake. I am the snake that giveth knowledge and delight in bright glory, and stir the hearts of men with drunkenness. To worship me take wine and strange drugs, whereof I will tell my prophet, and be drunk thereof. They shall not harm ye at all. It is a lie, this folly against self. The exposure of innocence is a lie. Be strong, O man, lust, enjoy all things of sense and rapture. Fear not that any God shall deny thee for this. I am alone. There is no God where I am. Behold, these be grave mysteries, for there are also of my friends who be hermits. Now think not to find them in the forest or on the mountain, but in beds of purple, caressed by magnificent beasts of women, with large limbs and fire and light in their eyes, and masses of flaming hair about them. There shall ye find them. Ye shall see them at rule, at victorious armies, at all the joy, and there shall be in them a joy 1,000,000 times greater than this. Beware lest any force another king against king. Love one another with burning hearts. On the low men trample in the fierce lust of your pride in the day of your wrath. Ye are against the people, O my chosen. I am the secret serpent coiled about to spring. In my coiling there is joy. If I lift up my head, I and my Nuit are one. If I droop down mine head and shoot forth venom, then is rapture of the earth, and I and the earth are one. There is a great danger in me, for who doth not understand these runes shall make a great miss. He shall fall down into the pit called Because, and there he shall perish with the dogs of reason. Now a curse upon Because and his kin. May Because be accursed forever. If will stops and cries why, invoking Because, then will stops and does not. If power asks why, then is power weakness. Also reason is a lie, for there's a factor infinite and unknown, and all their words are skew-wise. Enough of Because, be he damned for a dog. But ye, O my people, rise up and awake. Let the rituals be rightly performed with joy and beauty. There are rituals of the elements and feasts of the times, a feast for the first night of the prophet and his bride, a feast for the 3 days of the writing of the book of the law, a feast for Tahuti and the child of the prophet, secret, O prophet, a feast for the supreme ritual, and a feast for the equinox of the gods, a feast for fire and a feast for water, a feast for life and a greater feast for death, a feast every day in your hearts in the joy of my rapture, a feast every night unto new and the pleasure of uttermost delight. Aye, feast, rejoice. There is no dread hereafter. There is the dissolution and eternal ecstasy in the kisses of new. There is death for the dogs. Dost thou fail? Art thou sorry? Is fear in thine heart? Where I am, these are not. Pity not the fallen. I never knew them. I am not for them. I console not. I hate the consoled and the consoler. I am unique and conqueror. I am not of the slaves that perish. Be they damned and dead. Amen. This is of the four. There is a fifth who is invisible, and therein am I as a babe in an egg. Blue am I and gold in the light of my bride, but the red gleam is in my eyes, and my spangles are purple and green. Purple beyond purple. It is the light higher than eyesight. There is a veil. That veil is black. It is the veil of the modest woman. It is the veil of sorrow and the pall of death. This is none of me. Tear down that lying specter of the centuries. Veil not your vices in virtuous words. These vices are my service. Ye do well, and I will reward you here and hereafter. Fear not, O prophet, when these words are said. Thou shalt not be sorry. Thou art emphatically my chosen, and blessed are the eyes that thou shalt look upon with gladness. But I will hide thee in a mask of sorrow. They that see thee shall fear thou art fallen, but I lift thee up. Nor shall they who cry aloud their folly that thou meanest not avail. Thou shalt reveal it. Thou availest. They are the slaves of Because. They are not of me. The stops as thou wilt. The letters, change them not in style or value. Thou shalt obtain the order and value of the English alphabet. Thou shalt find new symbols to attribute them unto. Begone, ye mockers. Even though ye laugh in my honor, ye shall laugh not long. When ye are sad, know that I have forsaken you. He that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. Yea, deem not of change. Ye shall be as ye are, and not other. Therefore the kings of the earth shall be kings forever. The slaves shall serve. There is none that shall be cast down or lifted up. All is ever as it was. Yet there are masked ones, my servant. It may be that yonder beggar is a king. A king may choose his garment as he will. There is no certain test, but a beggar cannot hide his poverty. Beware therefore, love all, lest perchance is a king concealed. Say you so? Fool, if he be a king, thou canst not hurt him. Therefore strike hard and low, and to hell with them, master. There is a light before thine eyes, O prophet, a light undesired, most desirable. I am uplifted in thine heart, and the kisses of the stars rain hard upon thy body. Thou art exhaust in the voluptuous fullness of the inspiration. The expiration is sweeter than death, more rapid and laughterful than a caress of hell's own worm. Oh, thou art overcome. We are upon thee. Our delight is all over thee. Hail, hail, prophet of Nu, prophet of Hod, prophet of Ra-Hur-Ku. Now rejoice. Now come in our splendor and rapture. Come in our passionate peace and write sweet words for the kings. I am the master. Thou art the holy chosen one. Write and find ecstasy in writing. Work and be our bed in working. Thrill with the joy of life and death. Ah, thy death shall be lovely. Whoso seeth it shall be glad. Thy death shall be the seal of the promise of our age-long love. Come, lift up thine heart and rejoice. We are one. We are none. Hold, hold, bear up in thy rapture. Fall not in swoon of the excellent kisses. Harder, hold up thyself. Lift thine head. Breathe not so deep. Die. Ah, what do I feel? Is the word exhausted? There is help and hope in other spells. Wisdom says, be strong, then canst thou bear more joy. Be not animal, refine thy rapture. If thou drink, drink by the 8 and 90 rules of art. If thou love, exceed by delicacy. And if thou do aught joyous, let there be subtlety therein. But exceed, exceed. Strive ever to more. And if thou art truly mine, and doubt it not, and if thou art ever joyous, death is the crown of all. Ah, death, death. Thou shalt long for death. Death is forbidden, O man, unto thee. The length of thy longing shall be the strength of its glory. He that lives long and desires death, much is ever the king among the kings. Aye, listen to the numbers and the words. 4, 6, 3, 8, A, B, K, 2, 4, A, L, G, M, O, R, 3, Y, X, 24, 89, R, P, S, T, O, V, A, L. What meaneth this, O prophet? Thou knowest not, nor shalt thou know ever. There cometh one to follow thee, he shall expound it. But remember, O chosen one, to be me, to follow the love of me, the star lit heaven, to look forth upon men, to tell Oh, be thou a mighty among men. Lift up thyself, for there is none like unto thee among men or among gods. Lift up thyself, O my prophet, thy stature shall surpass the stars. Foursquare, missing, wonderful. The number of the man,
that's wild,
and the name of thy
man.
house, 418.
That's just a dereliction of
The hiding of hiding
So-
keeping the public safe.
So they actually let the people go that they interviewed about the IEDs and planning. What were they for? Like,
My understanding was that they determined they weren't associated, but who knows?
I'm saying, so what were they planning the IEDs for?
Oh, because one of the tactics that you use is that you create a situation, and then when people respond, then you create another situation to get the first responders.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that there are other devices, that would make you think maybe he had accomplices, but there's so much video being taken that night. I'm sure they can sift through it eventually and figure out what happened.
Yeah.
There's something about him driving by Canal Street an hour before he actually made the attack too. We'll see. Time will tell.
Damn. These guys are crazy, man, because they eventually know they're going to have to kill themselves. Like,
Oh yeah, that guy had no intention of getting out alive. Most of them don't.
exactly. It's like,
Most mass shooters do not survive the attack, which is interesting that a lot of the ones in the last few times have actually been taken into custody. That doesn't normally happen. So anyway, I've got to jump off. You guys have a great day.
Hey, you two yours will see it, man. Alright, you too. Bro.
Oh, Indira just showed up.
What's
Hey,
going on,
girl. Happy New Year. I gotta go, though.
Indira.
Hey man, what's going on?
Yo, what up,
you changed your name? Come on.
Hey y'all, who was that ratchet ass lace front bitch that was just offended? I'm at the doctor, right?
Shit.
And the doctor walks in because I have an upper respiratory infection. But I'm like, shit.
We know his name. His name is public.
Kazi is running. This is so bad.
My name is Kazi Atkins. His name is Solomon AK. That's his fucking name. The point is it's public. We know each other's name. He can show an account with his name on it. It's not hard. If he got an account, it's just one account with 10K or more. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking.
No, you were asking for escrow. You were asking for all this stuff, a contract.
I asked all of these stipulations.
I don't even look at that's my address. That's one of my addresses.
This is so amazing.
Matt, can you tell me how much you see in that account?
I got addresses. No, that's not the point.
Slow down. One of my addresses. Can you tell me how much? And that account is tied to my crack end. That account is tied to my cracking account.
Happened to you, bro?
This address is tied to my cracking account.
Too, bro.
Can you tell me how much is in there?
Listen, I got
Kazi, stop talking about money when you're not paying your debts.
He's a
Yo.
My mom is Jewish. My father is from Georgia, Russia, but they used to live in Turkey. Well, my father was born and raised in the Netherlands.
Are you a Jew?
Well, technically I am, but I'm not claiming.
Have you read my bio?
No.
You are safe with me. Okay?
I'm not gonna lie, you have a long bio, bro. I don't even want to read it. That's crazy. That's a long bio, bro.
I'm a letter to the need. That's funny.
Blessing and worship to the prophet of the lovely star. Chapter 3. Abra Hadabra, the reward of Ra-Hur-Kut. There is division hither homeward. There is a word not known. Spelling is defunct. All is not aught. Beware. Hold. Raise the spell of Ra-Hur-Kuit. Now let it be first understood that I am a god of war and vengeance. I shall deal hardly with them. Choose ye an island. Fortify it. Dung it about with enginery of war. I will give you a war engine. With it ye shall smite the peoples, and none shall stand before you. Lurk. Withdraw. Upon them. This is the law of the battle of conquest. Thus shall my worship be about my secret house. Get the stele of revealing itself. Set it in thy secret temple, and that temple is already aright disposed, and it shall be your Kiblah forever. It shall not fade, but miraculous color shall come back to it day after day. Close it in locked glass for a proof to the world. This shall be your only proof. I forbid argument. Conquer. That is enough. I will make easy to you the obstruction from the ill-ordered house in the victorious city. Thou shalt thyself convey it with worship, O prophet, though thou likest it not. Thou shalt have danger and trouble. Ra-Hur-Ku is with thee. Worship me with fire and blood. Worship me with swords and with spears. Let the woman be girt with a sword before me. Let blood flow to my name. Trample down the heathen. Be upon them, O warrior. I will give you of their flesh to eat. Sacrifice cattle, little and big, after a child. But not now. Ye shall see that hour, O blessed beast, and thou the scarlet concubine of his desire. Ye shall be sad thereof. Deem not too eagerly to catch the promises. Fear not to undergo the curses. Ye, even ye, know not this meaning all. Fear not at all. Fear neither men, nor fates, nor gods, nor anything. Money fear not, nor laughter of the folk folly, nor any other power in heaven or upon the earth or under the earth. Nu is your refuge as Hadit your light, and I am the strength, force, vigor of your arms. Mercy let be off. Damn them who pity. Kill and torture. Spare not. Be upon them. That stele they shall call the abomination of desolation. Count well its name, and it shall be to you as 718. Why? Because of the fall of because, that he is not there again. Set up my image in the east. Thou shalt buy thee an image which I will show thee is special, not unlike the one thou knowest. And it shall be suddenly easy for thee to do this. The other images group around me to support me. Let all be worshipped, for they shall cluster to exalt me. I am the visible object of worship. The others are secret. For the beast and his bride are they, and for the winners of the ordeal X. What is this? Thou shalt know. For perfume mix meal and honey and thick leavings of red wine, then oil of abramelin and olive oil, and afterwards soften and smooth down with rich fresh blood. The best blood is of the moon, monthly, then the fresh blood of a child or dropping from the host of heaven, then of enemies, then of the priest or of the worshippers, last of some beast, no matter what. This burn. Of this make cakes and eat unto me. This hath also another use. Let it be laid before me and kept thick with perfumes of your orison. It shall become full of beetles, as it were, and creeping things sacred unto me. These slay, naming your enemies, and they shall fall before you. Also these shall breed lust and power of lust in you at the eating thereof. Also ye shall be strong in war. Moreover, be they long kept, it is better, for they swell with my force, all before me. My altar is of open brasswork, burned thereon in silver or gold. There cometh a rich man from the west, who shall pour his gold upon thee. From gold forged steel, be ready to fly or to smite. But your holy place shall be untouched throughout the centuries. Though with fire and sword it be burnt down and shattered, yet an invisible house there standeth, and shall stand until the fall of the great equinox, when Hermrachus shall arise, and the double-wanded one assume my throne and place.
Yeah, bro, it's so sad, like, seeing it in real life for so many years, bro, like a long time ago when I was delivering Amazon packages, man, and I used to deliver in Detroit, bro, I used to be in the hood delivering packages, bro, and it's just so sad seeing these fucking kids just neglected and living in these fucking unfurnished, disgusting fucking houses, man. Like, just like, what the fuck, man? Like, what happened to the instinct of wanting better for your kid? And that,
I am the Lord of
And signing transactions in with money.
I hear you.
No, I told you that God called my name and told me to go bye.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
God who makest the gods and death to tremble before thee.
Everybody read that?
I adore thee. Appear on the throne of Ra. Open the ways of the Ku. Lighten the ways of the Ka. The ways of the cobs run through to stir me or still me. Let it fill me, so that thy light is in me, and its red flame is as a sword in my hand to push thy order. There is a secret door that I shall make to establish thy way in all the quarters. These are the adorations, as thou hast written, as it is said, the light is mine, its rays consume me. I have made a secret door into the house of Ra and Tum, of Kephrod, of Ahathor. I am thy Theban, O Mentu, the prophet Ankof Nakansu. By best Namat my breast I beat, by wise Tanek I weave my spell. Show thy star splendor, O Nuit. Bid me within thine house to dwell, O winged snake of light, Hadit. Abide with me, Ra Hur Quit. All this and a book to say how thou didst come hither, and a reproduction of this ink and paper forever. For in it is the word secret, and not only in the English. And thy comment upon this, the book of the law, shall be printed beautifully, red ink and black, upon beautiful paper made by hand. And to each man and woman that thou meetest, were it but to dine or to drink of them, it is the law to give. Then they shall chance to abide in this bliss or no. It is no odds. Do this quickly. But the work of the comment, that is easy, and Hadit burning in thy heart shall make swift and secure thy pen. Establish at thy Kaaba a clerk house. All must be done well and with business way. The ordeal shalt thou oversee thyself, save only the blind ones. Refuse none, but thou shalt know and destroy the traitors. I am Ra Hur Quit, and I am powerful to protect my servant. Success is thy proof. Argue not, convert not, talk not overmuch. Them that seek to entrap thee, to overthrow thee, them attack without pity or quarter, and destroy them utterly. Swift as a trodden serpent, turn and strike. Be thou yet deadlier than he. Drag down their souls to awful torment. Laugh at their fear. Spit upon them. Let the scarlet woman beware. If pity and compassion and tenderness visit her heart, if she leave my work to toy with old sweetnesses, then shall my vengeance be known. I will slay me her child. I will alienate her heart. I will cast her out from men. As a shrinking and despised harlot shall she crawl through dusk-wet streets and die cold and an-hungered. But let her raise herself in pride. Let her follow me in my way. Let her work the work of wickedness. Let her kill her heart. Let her be loud and adulterous. Let her be covered with jewels and rich garments, and let her be shameless before all men. Then will I lift her to pinnacles of power. Then will I breed from her a child mightier than all the kings of earth. I will fill her with joy. With my force shall she see and strike at the worship of Nu. She shall achieve Hadit. I am the warrior lord of the 40s. The 80s cower before me and are abased. I will bring you to victory and joy. I will be at your arms in battle, and ye shall delight to slay. Success is your proof. Courage is your armor. Go on in my strength, and ye shall turn not back for any. This book shall be translated into all tongues, but always with the original in the writing of the beast. For in the chance shape of the letters and their position to one another, in these are mysteries that no beast shall divine. Let him not seek to try, but one cometh after him, whence I say not, who shall discover the key of it all. Then this line drawn is a key. Then this circle squared in its failure is a key also, and abrahadabra. It shall be his child, and that strangely. Let him not seek after this, for thereby alone can he fall from it. Now this mystery of the letters is done, and I want to go on to the holier place. I am in a secret fourfold word, the blasphemy against all gods of men. Curse them, curse them, curse them. With my hawk's head I peck at the eyes of Jesus as he hangs upon the cross. I flap my wings in the face of Mohammed and blind him. With my claws I tear out the flesh of the Indian and the Buddhist, Mongol and Din. Balasti, Ompeda, I spit on your crapulous creeds. Let Mary and Violet be torn upon wheels. For her sake let all chaste women be utterly despised among you. Also for beauty's sake and love's. Despise also all cowards, professional soldiers who dare not fight but play. All fools despise. But the keen and the proud, the royal and the lofty, ye are brothers. As brothers fight ye. There is no law beyond, do what thou wilt. There is an end of the word of the God enthroned in Ra's seat, lightening the girders of the soul. To me do ye reverence. To me come ye through tribulation of ordeal, which is bliss. The fool readeth this book of the law and its comment, and he understandeth it not. Let him come through the first ordeal, and it will be to him as silver, through the second, gold, through the third, stones of precious water, through the fourth, ultimate sparks of the intimate fire. Yet to all it shall seem beautiful. Its enemies who say not so are mere liars. There is success. I am the hawk-headed lord of silence and of strength. My nemesis shrouds the night blue sky. Hail, ye twin warriors about the pillars of the world, for your time is nigh at hand. I am the lord of the double wand of power, the wand of the force of Kafnia. But my left hand is empty, for I have crushed an universe and naught remains. Paste the sheets from right to left and top to bottom. Then behold, there is a splendor in my name hidden and glorious, as the son of midnight is ever the sun. The ending of the words is the word abrahadabra. The book of the law is written and concealed. Ha. The comment. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The study of this book is forbidden. It is wise to destroy this copy after the first reading. Whosoever disregards this does so at his own risk and peril. These are most dire. Those who discuss the contents of this book are to be shunned by all as centers of pestilence. All questions of the law are to be decided only by appeal to my writings, each for himself. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Love is the law, love under will. The priest of the princes, Ankh of Nakansu. Introduction. 1. The book. This book was dictated in Cairo between noon and 1 p.m. on 3 successive days, April 8th, 9th, and 10th in the year of 1904. The author called himself Iwas and claimed to be the minister of Hur-Par Krat, that is, a messenger from the forces ruling this earth at present, as will be explained later on. How could he prove that he was, in fact, a being of a kind superior to any of the human race, and so entitled to speak with authority? Evidently, he must show knowledge.
What I wish somebody told me about learning multiple languages at the same time. It's actually easier than you think. You start noticing patterns between languages, which speeds up.
Nan-in, a Japanese master during the Meiji era, received a university professor who came to inquire about Zen. Nan-in served tea. He poured his visitor's cup full, then kept on pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he no longer could restrain himself. It is overfull, no more will go in. Like this cup, Nanin said. You are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup? Gudo was the emperor's teacher of his time. Nevertheless, he used to travel alone as a wandering mendicant. Once when he was on his way to Edo, the cultural and political center of the shogunate, he approached a little village named Takenaka. It was evening and a heavy rain was falling. Gudo was thoroughly wet. His straw sandals were in pieces. At a farmhouse near the village, he noticed 4 or 5 pairs of sandals in the window and decided to buy some dry ones. The woman who offered him the sandals, seeing how wet he was, invited him to remain for the night in her home. Gudo accepted, thanking her. He entered and recited the sutra before the family shrine. He then was introduced to the woman's mother and to her children. Observing that the entire family was depressed, Gudo asked, what was wrong? My husband is a gambler and a drunkard, the housewife told him. When he happens to win, he drinks and becomes abusive. When he loses, he borrows money from others. Sometimes when he becomes thoroughly drunk, he does not come home at all. What can I do? I will help him, said Gudo. Here is some money. Get me a gallon of fine wine and something good to eat. Then you may retire. I will meditate before the shrine. When the man of the house returned about midnight, quite drunk, he bellowed, Hey, wife, I'm home. Have you something for me to eat? I have something for you, said Gudo. I happened to be caught in the rain, and your wife kindly asked me to remain here for the night. In return, I have bought some wine and fish, so you might as well have them. The man was delighted. He drank the wine at once and laid himself down on the floor. Gudo sat in meditation beside him. In the morning, when the husband awoke, he had forgotten about the previous night. Who are you? Where do you come from? He asked Gudo, who still was meditating. I am Gudo of Kyoto, and I am going on to Edo, replied the Zen master. The man was utterly ashamed. He apologized profusely to the teacher of his emperor. Gudo smiled. Everything in this life is impermanent, he explained. Life is very brief. If you keep on gambling and drinking, you will have no time left to accomplish anything else, and you'll cause your family to suffer too. The perception of the husband awoke as if from a dream. You are right, he declared. How can I ever repay you for this wonderful teaching? Let me see you off and carry your things a little way. If you wish, assented Gudo. The two started out. After they had gone 3 miles, Gudo told him to return. Just another 5 miles, he begged Gudo. They continue on. You may return now, suggested Gudo. Another 10 miles, the man replied. Return now, said Gudo, when the 10 miles had been passed. I'm going to follow you all the rest of my life, declared the man. Modern Zen teachers in Japan spring from the lineage of a famous master who was the successor of Gudo. His name was Munan, the man who never turned back. The Zen master Hakuin was praised by his neighbors as one living a pure life. A beautiful Japanese girl whose parents owned a food store lived near him. Suddenly, without any warning, her parents discovered she was with child. This made her parents angry. She would not confess who the man was, but after much harassment, at last named Hakuin. In great anger, the parents went to the master. Is that so? Was all he would say. After the child was born, it was brought to Hakuin. By this time, he had lost his reputation, which did not trouble him. But he took very good care of the child. He obtained milk from his neighbors and everything else the little one needed. A year later, the girl mother could stand it no longer. She told her parents the truth, that the real father of the child was a young man who worked in the fish market. The mother and father of the girl at once went to Hakuin to ask his forgiveness, to apologize at length, and to get the child back again. Hakuin was willing. In yielding the child, all he said was, "Is that so?" The Master Bankei's talks were attended not only by Zen students, but by persons of all ranks and sects. He never quoted sutras, nor indulged in scholastic dissertations. Instead, his words were spoken directly from his heart to the hearts of his listeners. His large audiences angered a priest of the Nichiren sect, because the adherents had left to hear about Zen. The self-centered Nichiren priest came to the temple, determined to debate with Bankei. "A Zen teacher," he called out, "wait a minute. Whoever respects you will obey what you say, but a man like myself does not respect you. Can you make me obey you?" "Come up beside me and I will show you," said Bankei. Proudly, the priest pushed his way through the crowd to the teacher. Banke smiled. "Come over to my left side." The priest obeyed. "No," said Banke. "We may talk better if you were on the right side. Step over here." The priest proudly stepped over to the right. "You see," observed Banke, "you are obeying me, and I think you are a very gentle person. Now sit down and listen." 20 monks and one nun who was named Ishun were practicing meditation with a certain Zen master. Ishun was very pretty, even though her head was shaved and her dress plain. Several monks secretly fell in love with her. One of them wrote her a love letter, insisting upon a private meeting. Ishun did not reply. The following day, the master gave a lecture to the group, and when it was over, Ishun arose. Addressing the one who had written